In July 2015, the son of ex-dictator Moammar Gadhafi was sentenced to death for war crimes. Gaddafi was one of the longest-ruling dictators before being killed during the Libyan revolution. But there are still a number of decades-long dictatorships active around the world. So who are the world's longest-reigning dictators? Now technically, the title of dictator only applies to those leaders who rule with absolute authority, usually in single-party states with repressive policies. While some world leaders come close to fitting this description, for example Russia's Vladimir Putin, who has been in power for nearly 16 years, they are not necessarily dictators. Nearly all long-term dictatorships can be found in Africa. The most commonly acknowledged longest-ruling dictator is the President of Cameroon, Paul Biya. The dictator's 40-year reign has been marred by rigged elections, the removal of term limits, and repressive censorship laws. Biya has been ranked as one of the world's worst dictators for widespread torture by the police and physical intimidation of journalists. However, in 2008, the leader changed the constitution to give himself immunity for his crimes. Another notoriously repressive dictator is President Biya of Equatorial Guinea. Since ousting his own uncle as president in 1979, Biya's 36-year-long rule has turned the country into one of the world's worst human rights situations. Despite being the richest country per capita in Africa, the oil-rich nation ranks near the bottom of the Human Development Index. Half of the population even lacks access to clean water. Biya's press censorship has also been called the worst of the worst by Freedom House. The state controls all media and restricts international coverage. One journalist was even suspended for briefly mentioning Libya's revolution in 2011. The country is also a major source and destination for human trafficking. Another African country with a long-standing dictator is Angola. President José Eduardo dos Santos has been in power since 1979 and been accused of repeat election fraud. Under his rule, Angola has become one of the most corrupt countries in Africa. Nearly 3/4 of the population lives on less than $2 per day. Meanwhile, Dos Santos' family and business associates have become extremely wealthy through kickbacks from nearly every industry. In 2012, nearly half of the country's $70 billion oil revenues went missing. In trying to track down illegal finances, a number of journalists have been arrested and fined under anti-defamation laws. Journalists are regularly threatened, harmed, and imprisoned while money continues to be siphoned to the dictator and his family. In July 2015, President Obama visited Africa and warned dictators that they would not see progress so long as they continued their lifelong rule. He also criticized restrictions on free speech and increasing human rights abuses. While other countries have decades-long dictatorships like Zimbabwe and Cambodia, they all follow a similar pattern of disenfranchisement, violence, and extreme inequality. Although these dictatorships number among the longest, there are much worse dictators around the world. For a more complete list of active dictatorships, watch this video. A dictatorship is a form of authoritarian government in which complete power over the people and state is held by one person or political entity. The word is often used interchangeably with terms like tyranny, monarchy, totalitarianism, autocracy, despotism, and even sometimes with words like republic and democracy. Thanks for watching TestTube News. Make sure to like and subscribe so you get all of our videos every day.